Hello, welcome to my infomercial. My name is Gabriel. If you couldn't tell by the specific background for this presentation and the title, that is the album cover At Long Last ASAP by ASAP Rocky. And coincidentally, he has a song titled LSD, which is what I'm going to be talking to you about today. So let's jump right in. So what is it? How is it synthesized as administered? LSD is a Schedule 1 drug in the category of hallucinogens. The top image is showing the compound, which takes around a week to synthesize in a lab. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. It takes 20 to 90 minutes for effects to start. It peaks around 2 to 3 hours. It can last up to 12 hours, or in some cases days. It's derived from lysergic acid of a parasitic rye fungus from a grain. It can only be made by professionals or trained chemists. It's applied to blotter paper and can be chewed or swallowed. It also comes in tablets or pills. 1 gram of the drug is equal to 1,000 doses of the drug. LSD is the least adulterated of all the illicit drugs, and a square costs around $2 to $5. So some of the history of LSD: Albert Hofmann is known as the father of LSD. He was a Swiss chemist and wanted to synthesize a drug that can be of medical value. Recreational use of the drug began in the 1950s, surged in the 1960s, and over the course of the 1970s and 80s, use by teenagers declined, but use showed a rise again in the early 1990s. Now let's turn to some of the darker history that people may not know about the drug. Recently, a Netflix film called Chaos: The Manson Murders. I recommend you watch this film if you haven't already, but it talks about how Manson was able to use forms of mind control on his cult followers and provide them LSD. And one of his followers said Manson used LSD almost like a sacrament, and it was always provided. But the film raised many eyebrows about the possible government involvement about Project MKUltra with Manson, which is another point I want to get to, because most people don't know about that the CIA and US government used humans in undercover tests revolving around psychedelics, LSD included. The test didn't become public until biochemist Frank Olson was under the influence of LSD and fell off a balcony to his death in 1953. The LSD effects on the bodies. Let's talk about the physiological effects. It can pass through the blood-brain barrier of the brain, as well as the placenta and into the fetus. It activates the sympathetic nervous system by raising body temperature, heart rate, and blood pressure. Activation of the parasympathetic nervous system increases salivation and nausea. And the behavioral and psychological effects include panic attacks, hallucinations, loss of emotional control, catatonic seizures, which can last for days in some instances, reports of time feeling distorted, days feel like years, essentially, sensations throughout the body, and perceptions of altered reality. People can also get flashbacks, which can occur years after the use of LSD. Some of the risks include overdose, which can lead to fear, anxiety, confusion, and panic. LSD is not an highly addictive drug, so addiction is not listed on here. Hallucinogen use disorder, which is the problematic use of hallucinogens. It's less common but can happen. Hallucinogen persisting perception disorder, HPPD, which is a perception disorder where someone can have continued visual disturbances, whether it be intensified colors or halos around objects, or they start seeing trails. Some of the consequences: since LSD is a Schedule 1 drug, it is illegal to possess, distribute, and manufacture the drug. You're also susceptible to psychosis or schizophrenia after long-term use in some cases. And you could also put others at risk and potential danger if a bad trip occurs. Thank you. That is all. Thank you for watching.